Events unfolded, and of course looking at a good performance by our Kenyan brothers and sisters in the Boston Marathon, Evans Chebet and Hellen Obiri. Congratulations to both of them. Hellen Obiri in her second full marathon ended up winning. Congratulations for the fighting spirit. Eliud Kipchoge gave it a very good account for themselves, and his message after the race is there are times when you think you really have it, but it's just not there. But you live to fight another day. A very positive, message in terms of never giving up. There are days you win, there are days you don't win, but still you are up there, moving on. Wherever you're watching us from, Nairobi, Kisumu, Moyale, Marsabit, Mombasa, Kilifi, Kisii, Eldoret, Kisumu, everywhere. It is that moment where we say we are proud. You're watching, and we are glad to have you on board. We were talking about moving the goalpost earlier on. Now we shift gears to matters boxing. Boxing, a sport that Kenya was known for in the yesteryears with the hit squad. Kenya was a powerhouse in boxing, not just in Africa, but in the world. Anyone taking on Kenya would know that it was not going to be an easy one. We had very funny names like the Chafua, team, when anytime you'd go out there, it would be an interesting one. Then, of course, in the Olympics, Robert Nangila, Wangila winning Kenya her only Olympic gold medal a couple of years back. Can Kenya get back to those glory days? Well, Boxing Kenya, right now is working on programs to take Kenya back to those days. They've been exposing the boxers to high quality, tournaments, and with this, you can only say that there is a lot to talk about for the future of Kenyan boxing. Speaking to Sugar Ray earlier on, Sugar Ray was very clear. It's not about, it's not about, us talking about there is light at the end of the tunnel, but Sugar Ray says it's about taking the tunnel to where the light is, and it has to literally be done for Kenya to get back. Let me take the opportunity to introduce those with us in studio this afternoon to talk about matters boxing. The team earlier on was exposed to the World Championships in the New Delhi. That's for women, where Kenya sent a couple of boxers, went in on a learning mission. They came back. Now they're preparing the men who will be leaving for Uzbekistan, maybe next week for the same, preparing for the World Championships from a men point. How did it pan out from the ladies, the officiating, the learnings that they picked out there? Let's introduce the team with us in studio this afternoon. To my immediate left, let me start with the lady, the only lady with us in studio, who was also in New Delhi, India, to go out for the World Championships for the women. We're talking about Veronica Mbithe, 50-kilogram light flyweight category with us in studio. Veronica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Troy.
Karibu sana and welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana. Then to my farthest, before I go to my farthest left, let me come to my right, where we have Sam, not Sam Jau, but Boniface Mugenda. Boniface, light middle, 91 kilograms. Boniface has a very huge, task ahead of him. He is the captain of the team, taking over from the veteran, none other than Commander Nick Okoth. A very tall order, but very big shoes to fill. The belief is there that he can do it. Boniface, mambo?
Poa sana.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Taking over from Commander.
It's a blessing.
I like that. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It's your pressure. It's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Always looking at the glass as half full, not half empty. There you go. Let me cross over to Sam Jau, 57-kilogram featherweight, with us in studio. Sam.
Yes.
Karibu sana to the studio.
Asante sana.
Mambo?
Mzuri sana.
Iko sawa?
Nashukuru.
Getting ready.
Getting ready. Yes.
Itafika tu.
Itafika.
Usikuwe na pressure.
Thank you.
Last but not least, the public relations officer, the one in charge, always very instrumental when it comes to matters exposing this team, and always never fears talking about matters boxing. He's been there. He used to box for Kenya, got the nickname Sugar Ray, but popularly, that's his popular name. Along the streets, many call him Sugar Ray, but if you want to look for, sending him some cash on his mobile money, you'd have to look for Duncan Kuria. Duncan Kuria with us in the, this afternoon. Sugar Ray.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Welcome back in the country.
Thank you.
always very passionate, not just about boxing, but you are following keenly, even moving the goalpost, discussion.
I have a major interest in sports, so I'm interested in knowing what is going on. So I'll know basically everything that's going on. So it doesn't matter whether it's just the goalposts, whether it's women football, whether it's athletics, where our guys, Akina Obiri and Kipchoge did us proud. So try to be knowledgeable in almost everything.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Shugari. Well, first and foremost, before I even come to Veronica, let's talk about the World Championships that were in New Delhi, India, where you took several, ladies to that because it was an all-ladies tournament. How was it? Because this being the second time, you must have gone out there with a mission. Did you achieve your objectives?
Yeah, basically I say we did achieve our mission, which was to give our girls exposure. And we were very impressed with most of them. They performed very well. Despite not winning medals, we were happy with the performance of the girls. Apart from maybe a few, maybe 2 or 3 who didn't give their all. For those we felt they met opponents who in our opinion were weaker, but they ended up losing. Because they were not following instructions from the coaches and they just didn't give a good effort. But for majority of them, despite fighting against some of the top boxers in the world, they gave a very good account of themselves. And it's a performance that we, as a federation, we're proud of, and we know when you come to compete against boxers who are almost at our level, maybe at Africa level, I think the kind of improvement that we are seeing as Boxing Federation of Kenya in the girls can only be shown when now we compete with those who are almost at our level now, because we are not at the very top where we used to be before, like you have rightly said, but we are building from somewhere, and I believe gauging from last year World Championship and now this year, there is a huge improvement. But the improvement now maybe to the boxing fans out there maybe does not show exactly because we didn't come with medals, but for us, because we access the boxers on a day-to-day basis, we are able to tell where we have huge improvements. And for instance, last year, November, we went for Africa Championship and we sent a team of 8 boxers, and they came back with 4 medals, 3 silvers and 1 bronze medal. And Njau is one of the silver medalists. Boniface Mugunde here, the captain of Hit Squad, was a bronze medalist in the Africa Championship. And that shows you at the Africa level, we compete very well. And your friend, Elizabeth and Diego yes. won a silver medal at the Africa Championship, which was a first for a girl in the Africa Championship. So I think as a federation, we are very happy with the performance of the girls. Though we are also very disappointed with some of the officiating at the
we'll talk about that
at the World Championship. So generally, I think we have a good team, but we have to keep pushing our limits because we want to take the sport where it used to be in the 80s and 70s, where we used to be ranked among the top 4 boxing nations in the world. But now we are just trying to build the basics at the bottom of the pyramid, and slowly by slowly, I believe we'll get there.
Well, those are images of the world, yes, exactly, of the World Championships for the ladies. Veronica, you were there. Briefly, from a boxer's point of view, how was the experience? As we look at some of the, images from the World Championships in Delhi.
The experience was good. I would say we learned a lot as boxers, and we were able to get some winning tactics that we did not have, some ring techniques that we did not know, and the officiating was very bad.
Questionable.
Yeah, for us Africans, but for the Asians it was okay for them, but for us we would say that it wasn't good.
And as there is this common saying in Swahili, mcheza kwa utunzwa na utuzwa. We don't want to look at it that way, but Let's look at it from a learning point of view.
Yeah.
What are some of those key things that you picked as a bottler, as a boxer? Sorry, we all know that first and foremost, the scoring technique is something that we really need to learn a lot from. Is that one of the things you learned?
Yeah, the first one was that when you are in the ring, there is no wasting time. You just start scoring from the first round to the last round. Scoring is the key word. You just score from the first round, second round, scoring, scoring, scoring. Because you'll see like first round, I'll win the round. The second round, my opponent will win the bout. So it will depend on the last one. The last round will determine who will win the game. So if I win the first one, the second one is lost, the last one, we'll have to, you'll have to give it all. So for you to be on the safe side, you'll have to win all the rounds. Yeah.
Wow, interesting indeed, as we learn a lot from that. But let's now go to Captain Boniface Mugunde, taking over from Commander. Boniface, right now you're preparing your light middle 71 kgs, but not just yourself, you are the captain of the team. How is the mood like in the camp? Because you're getting ready to leave for the World Championships as well, men. 12 boxers in total. How is the mood like in the camp?
I can say that we have hope. We have so much hope. The training that we have with our coaches, the mistakes that they are correcting us each and every day, we have so much hope, and we know that we are going to take this. We are going to perform, to make a very good performance. Yeah.
And as we look at this, Sam, you know, you've been there before. You've tried out. The last time in the African Championships, you won a silver medal, which clearly says that the potential is there.
It's there.
What's your target as Sam, as you go into the World Championships? Is it looking at maybe going past the round of 16? Is it going to the quarter, semis, or you want to go all the way?
Yes. This has been my dream since I started my career, because this is the highest pinnacle of boxing, where you meet the best in the world. So my dream is just to prove a point and show them that we as Kenya, not only can we do good in athletics alone, but even boxing, we will revive the heydays of the hit squad. That's my message, that's my dream, to just make my country proud, give it my best. And I know when I give it my best, the ones who I'm going to face, they will surely have a story to tell. Yeah.
I like the confidence. They will have a story to tell, that they once met Sam Njau, you know, 57 kg featherweight. Looking at the confidence that you have from both Boniface and Sam, and also picking from what Veronica said, she's spoken about something interesting in terms of scoring. Before we talk about officiating, let's talk about the scoring, because she's clearly called it out, that in scoring you have to get it from the word go. Yeah. You know, win the first, win the second, because you can always tell the scores. Yeah. You can always tell whether you're trailing or, you know. But at times, as a boxer, you believe you've given it your best. Yeah. But when you look at the scores, you're like, something is just not adding up. Shugari.
It's something very frustrating when maybe when a boxer is in the ring and they are fighting very vigorously, and then at the end of the rounds, there's a computer in every corner, but it's down, so you guys don't see it. So the coach, one of the coaches has to remain. You know, normally they have 3 coaches. So the two who are, one is inside, the other one is on the canvas next to the corner, and another one is bottom. The one who is down is very important because he's the one who sees the score. The ones who are up will not see. So he's the one who sees and tells those who are up what is the score. And we had a scenario in a fight involving Amina Matha in bantamweight category in New Delhi. And she was fighting so well. It's almost like what Veronica was telling you, where she lost first round, then she won second round. And the decisions were 3-2, meaning 3 judges gave, she was fighting a girl from Venezuela. So the girl from Venezuela won the first round 3-2, and Amina won the second round 3-2. So they were at par level. So we went to third round. Amina was so aggressive, she was pushing the fight, and those are the criteria which you think the judges look for. Who is pushing the fight, who has good ring generalship, who is controlling the fight, who is applying those techniques where you are having to score, technical scores where maybe somebody has to hit the tummy area. It's difficult to hit the tummy area than the head. And a punch applied to the tummy is more technical, so meaning a boxer who is scoring using the tummy should have an upper edge with the judges. But sometimes you go and see the scoring, you get surprised because like what happened in New Delhi, in that specific case which I'm telling you, we thought Amina had won the last round 5-0. But to our surprise, she happened to have lost 3-2 according to the opinion of the judges, and we were very surprised with the score because we thought we had clearly won the third round and the boxer was very confident that we had won it, but to our surprise the judges scored it otherwise. And there's a problem in boxing in that when a decision has been made, there are no appeal mechanism.
But
so,
I mean, looking at what happened in this case, because we can see is like
that clip where you are seeing there, that is our head coach was complaining about the decision in that bout where Christine Ongare's bout was stopped unfairly. So the coach went to complain, and this was the second time that the coach was complaining, because the other bout, which maybe you'll give me a chance to talk about, here the coach went to complain, and it was the second time he was complaining about a referee stopping a fight without proper reason. And when he went to complain to the technical delegate, they actually threw him out and withdrew his accreditation. And when you see the first clip which you are seeing was Elizabeth Andiego fighting a boxer from Kazakhstan in the quarterfinal. And in that fight, you will notice our coach was not in the corner because his accreditation had been withdrawn because of protesting for a decision which we thought was wrong. So we had a mixture of some very bad decisions which affected our performance because...
So why was this fight stopped? Because you can see the count.
Yes, you can see the count, but again now, the reason why the count was given is what we don't understand, because normally you need to be hit by a very hard punch, you go down or you get drunk, you stagger, that's when now the referee can give you a count.
To compose
Normally
yourself.
a count is supposed to give you time to recover so that you are able to, maybe if you are drunk, maybe
That's
now.
why they hold your gloves.
Yes,
to check. Yeah.
so they tell you to, some will tell you to walk so that they see if you're staggering. But you see now here, you are not, like this count is giving, he was actually behind the boxer, which is the wrong place for him to be, and he ended up giving a count and stopping the fight. And that is the reason why the coach went to complain to the technical delegate, because we don't understand why the fight was stopped. In boxing, it's a contact sport where you'll have to be hit by a punch because that's how the sport is. So there's no way that for every punch, even when somebody taps you, the referee gives you a count. It's not fair. But all the same, our boxers gave a very good account of themselves. That is the count. I don't understand why she's getting this count. But the referee gave that count and stopped the fight. Coincidentally, this is the same referee who stopped our earlier bout. So I don't know what this Japanese referee had against us, but
that's Christine Ongare.
That's Christine Ongare.
It is so painful, I can tell.
She
Veronica,
really
as a
cried.
boxer, what goes through your mind? Look at Christine.
It's so demoralizing for a boxer because entering that ring, you have your own goals. And it's good to be defeated clearly, not
Unfairly.
like this. Yeah, this is so unfair. Because if maybe she could have finished the round and the judges could have given the points, we would be satisfied with that. But stopping the bout in the first round, it's not good. It's so unfair. And the punches were not hard. Yeah.
Boniface, when we see such, and we are preparing for the World Championships, you can see a very, very dejected Christine Ongare. They are being consoled by one of the coaches. You know you're going into a hostile environment where you know officiating can go either. Mbona tusimalize kazi na TKO mapema?
Ukienda na mind ya TKO utapata
Wewe ndio utapigwa TKO.
utapata, so uende na hiyo mind ya TKO, but that hiyo ndio kenye tunataka, that's what we want. So hata tukienda kwa ring tunafaa tuende vile Veronica alisema, unafaa kudominate first round, second round, be the one who is pushing the fight, be the one who is pushing the fight. Na wazungu sana sana unapata wapendi hiyo, hao wanapenda ule mtu mwenye ana box, so ukipush utapata mwishowe utaanza kuwasumbua, na wapendi hiyo kupushio.
When
So
you say pushing the fight,
Yeah.
what exactly do you mean?
it's like
Oh, when
Yeah,
you're
be
aggressive,
aggressive.
umemweka always on the corner.
Yes, he's the one who is happy to run away.
yeah, so that is that, even unafaa, that is how you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push the fight, be aggressive, and you in the end you find that the our wazungu unapata wanaanza ku give up, so you're the one who is leading the fight.
Sam, are there cases where you are aggressive, you are dominating the fight?
Yes.
Everything, but you're not getting the crucial points that is needed because, we've watched international fights
Yes.
where you can clearly tell that so-and-so is winning this.
Yeah.
But from a referee's point, you're like, hang on, is the other boxer getting the crucial touches? You might be on the back foot, but once in a while, kuna mahali unagonga na umetulia. So are there such moments?
Yes, especially nowadays, and we saw that with our sisters here. Most of the bouts that we saw, hao ndio walikuwa na pressure, everything was correct, their skill, their technicality, everything was on point. But when it comes to the judgment and how the referee is taking control of the game, hata nyi wenyewe kama boxers mnajiuliza ni nini hatujui, as in what is happening, hii yenye ni mpya maybe, ama ni something that has come up that we've not been exposed to, juu it's demoralizing, juu ni kitu hawezi explain for sure. Hizo about kama ya Christine, Amina Mother, how they went down to that judgment of stopping the game, ni kitu huwezi elewa. And you've been in boxing, there is nothing new, there is no new changes. Our director here yenye angekuwa ametuambia saa hii scoring system maybe imechange, ama kuna new techniques zenye wana consider more. Everything was just okay, but nowadays it's more, yani imekuwa frequent sana hiyo kuona hivyo iki happen.
Sugar Ray, as Boxing Kenya Federation, what are we doing, to sanitize this issue of scoring and maybe getting better in terms of us getting also officials to go and be judges on the same where, we just call it as it is.
Yeah.
What is Boxing Kenya Federation doing? to address
Boxing
this?
Federation of Kenya, for some of the things that we see happening, like during the World Championship, there's nothing much we can do because the administration of such an event is now under our international federation, which is IBA. But IBA has got some challenges on its own. For instance, there's something that happened for us during this World Championship where one of our boxers, Friza Nyango, fought against a very good boxer from Algeria known as Imane Khalif. Imane Khalif is the Africa champion. During the Africa Olympic qualifier, she won gold. During the Africa Championship, she won gold. She came to Turkey, last year during the World Championship, she won a silver medal. But coincidentally, now it so happened that during this World Championship, her first bout, she was fighting against a Kenyan, Friza Nyango. And she defeated Friza Nyango unfairly in that the referee stopped the fight prematurely. We didn't understand why exactly the fight was stopped. But when now she progressed, she defeated 3 other boxers and got to the final. When she got to the final, she was not allowed to participate in the final. And actually, I was one of the first people to discover that she was not fighting because I got some information from an insider whom I can't reveal. And the information was the African girl is not in the final. Look at the roster. Then I looked at the roster, she was not there. Then I wanted to know why is she not in the roster. Yet we saw her fighting in the semi-final and she won. Then the information we are getting is that they did DNA testing, and allegedly this was a second DNA testing. Last year they did a DNA testing during the World Championship in Istanbul, and they thought they found that the girl had male genes. Then now they did another one in New Delhi, and what they were saying, they didn't even give explanation like what we had in athletics with Semenya. They just told me that this is the man. So you ask yourself, how did they allow a girl to fight against a man? And if they knew that the girl from Algeria, because even me, I'm struggling now to call her a man, because it's somebody I know personally. If she's a man, why was she allowed to come and compete again? Allegedly, it seems they did a test and they never gave her the results. So there are also issues to do with the administration there, or how the whole thing was managed is not the best scenario, because I don't understand how you allow somebody to come and compete, and when they get to the final and where people are competing for money, and to me she was the favorite to win gold. Now you tell her that she does not meet the eligibility criteria. But the first person she
was cleared,
kicked out from the tournament was a Kenyan. You're supposed to feel aggrieved because we'd say maybe our boxer didn't get a fair chance. As much as, yes, the referee messed us a bit, but if now this person is found to be a man, and now she's the one who removed our person at the preliminary round, how do you manage that? And nobody came out to explain anything to us. So even the IBA itself never explained itself on that particular decision. But you can see now one of the challenges that IOC keeps complaining about governance of IBA. You see it clearly here. We have a challenge because I don't understand why they allowed the Algerian girl to come and compete, if at all they knew that from the earlier results that she was a man. But if they only needed to prove a case, then I think they did it the wrong way, because there are people who are affected, there are countries that are affected, and the government spends a lot of money to send us to some of these tournaments. So for our boxer to go there and be said to have competed against a man, it's not fair. So those are challenges to do with governance, which we are suffering from, and it's from our international federation. But as a boxing federation here locally, it's our responsibility to see that we try to give our referee and judges the right training so that they are able to qualify to be able to officiate in some of these international tournaments, because at this level we actually do not have any referee and judge who can officiate at that very high level, which is the World Championship, Commonwealth and Olympic Games. But we need to ensure that these referee and judges go for these courses so that they can have some form of certification. And it's only three-star certification that allows you to compete to officiate at that very high level. Unfortunately, the ones we have about 1 star, which is not enough. But again, now as Africa, we are also suffering in the sense that we have very few tournaments, and it's during some of these tournaments that these courses happen. For instance, last week we're supposed to be having Africa Zone 3 Boxing Championship, which was called off last minute, and there was some courses that had been organized there for coaches and referee and judges, and our people were ready to go for them. But unfortunately, now that has been cancelled, it means now we have to wait next time that you're having an international tournament in Africa, so that our referee and judges can be able to go and do the course, they get certification, and then get a chance to officiate in some of these big chances. But for coaches, we have done something. We did a course where we had about 20 participants who did IBA Star 1 certification courses. And one of the coaches that was with us, former international Ibrahim Saf Bilali was with us in New Delhi as one of the coaches. And when Musa was not allowed to get into the ring, it's Bilali who took Elizabeth and Diego to the ring. And that's one of the clear example which I can give of the steps that you are doing as Boxing Federation of Kenya to see that we build capacities for our coaches and referee and judges so that they are able to participate at this high level. And that the experience that Bilali has, having competed and winning a bronze medal at 1984 Olympic Games, is very vital when he's also interacting with these boxers. There's something he can tell them which somebody who has not been to that high level does not know. So we think it's something very positive that you are doing as a federation and will continue doing to see that even the former champions who are willing to take coaching courses, we give them a chance, and we just hope they do their best, because for the courses, it's not a joke. You have to get 85% and above to qualify. Unfortunately, last time we did, majority fell below the 85%. So we have to ensure that even as coaches, you take an initiative to be reading so that you are very much aware about the changes and the rules that are happening, so that when you do that exam, you get the right marks to enable you to get certified. And as a federation, we will always give you a chance to go and get experience when we have these international championships.
Well, very good points brought there in terms of drafting former champions, to come up and also assist and inspire, the upcoming boxers. But let's come back to now Veronica. Veronica, we have Olympic qualifiers coming up later in August. And through the World Championships, you personally boxed and lost to a very experienced, boxer, indeed, who went all the way and finished in the 3rd position. Very experienced, seasoned boxer. What are some of the learnings that you've picked that are going to help you in terms of getting ready for the Olympic qualifiers in August?
From her, I learned that she had power. So right now, I'm working on my strength, and my aggressive was a bit down compared to her. And I'm still following her. I'm following her training, so I copy some things from her. And I know by the time the qualifiers will be here, I'll be very ready, and I'm going to qualify.
Interesting indeed that, some of the things you picked were, power, aggressiveness, etc. And I believe the coaches are working on that in terms of the stamina, for the 3 rounds to push your opponent all the way. Wishing you all the best. As we start wrapping up this, let's come to Boniface. As the captain of this team, light middle 91 kgs, you have huge tasks, but you say it's a blessing indeed. You want to make Nick proud and the entire, Kenyan boxing fraternity proud. What are your targets as we start winding up this discussion?
To me, I can say, as I've received this opportunity as a captain, it's not an easy task, but I have to be like a mirror. I have to be like a mirror to the entire team. For example, if I myself am not training hard, how can I go to tell my fellow members, train hard? So I have to train hard, I myself, so that they can see what I'm doing, so that they can put they can train hard themselves too. So I have to be a mirror to them. I have to lead by example. Yeah.
Sam, your promise to Kenyans as you now get ready for the World Championships, which also is acting as an exposure, for the Olympic qualifiers. Remember, Olympic is another big one for boxers.
Okay, my promise is, I don't want to be cocky, but I can just say, I just hope God will be on our side as a team. I expect when I give my best and my fellow teammates give their best, the results will come out wonderful. I believe that the training has been enough. The things that we've learned in the camp, the coaches who are being invited to show us new things, I believe that good performances will be our portion. God will be with us, and by His grace, we will do our country proud.
Amen. And
Yes.
so shall it be.
Thank you.
Well, as we wrap up this, I'll come to Duncan. But before Duncan, allow me to engage Veronica on one, on one question. And this question is for the girl child. We saw a very distraught, very pained Christine Ongare. And Christine still believes that there is a gold medal that has eluded her. But she has the belief, she has the drive, she has the passion that she can get it. Did you, as boxers, go around Christine? Because Christine was, in somber moods. She was weeping. You could really feel the pain in her. Did you, as boxers, just go around to Christine and just tell her, don't worry, girl, you still have time. Tomorrow is another day, and God will grant your prayers one day?
It was not bad for Christine alone. It was bad for all of us. So we were even lacking words to tell her, because everybody was imagining the situation. Each and every one of us was wearing that shoe, and it was not fitting us. It was so bad. But we just encouraged her. Yani, ni kama unamdanganya tu, unampea hopes haziko, juu isha happen. Haikuwa rahisi. It was so hard.
It was painful.
Yeah, it was so painful.
Christine, you still live to fight another day. It can be done. In less than a minute, Sugar Ray, what's your parting shot?
My parting shot is that our fans continue supporting us. As a federation, we are giving our all to see that we prepare our teams for this major championship as well as it can be. I believe we have Olympic qualifiers, which are our main target for this year. And the quota system that has been given by the IBA are not the best, because there are very few slots that are there. For men, it's only 7 slots for the whole of Africa. And for women, it's about 11 slots. So it's going to be very competitive. For the side of the government, I would urge them to give us all the necessary support that we require, because if we don't have, at the moment, we don't have many international assignments where we can take our boxers for exposure. So, and if we don't have this exposure, then it becomes a problem to be able to go and compete at that very high level. So I will urge our government to support us, give boxers a chance to get exposure, and I believe we'll be able to go out there and do our best during the Olympic qualifiers.
Thank you very much, Sugar Ray, Sam Jao, Veronica Mbithe, Boniface Mugenda, the captain, and of course Duncan Kuria, the from Boxing Federation of Kenya. We appreciate you making time. We wish you all the best. Congratulations for the learnings, and of course we'll be keeping an eye. Remember, the men are leaving next week for the World Championships in Uzbekistan, where they will be hoping that they can also get something, 12 boxers, in total. On behalf of everyone who's been behind this transmission, the transmission controller, the director, the producer, not forgetting the cameramen, the camera ladies, we want to say thank you very much for having kept us company. We leave you with the Ace, and this time round the Ace segment is featuring, kickboxing as a sport. Enjoy that, but from me, kona na kesho ni majali yake Mwenyezi Mungu. Bye-bye for now.